What's going on, everybody? Welcome to today's podcast. Going to be a fun one, boys and girls. We are excited to be here. Happy 2023. Nate, it is a new year. I know there's a lot of exciting things going on here going into 2023. So, guys, let's get right into it. Here's what's on the docket. Number one, we're going to start this podcast out with the secret mindset we are using to dominate in 2023. You know, it's one thing to always preach like, oh, we've got all the answers. Well, this is what we're doing. This is what we think is going to work. This is what's worked in the past. We'll talk about what hasn't to get off to a great start in 2023. So that's what we're going to start by sharing with you today. All right, well, let's jump right into it. Let's jump into the mindset section here. So mindset is a big deal when you're going into a new year. And if you continue to think the same way you do, in 2023 that you did in 2022, you can probably expect the same results in 2023. So if you want a new result, a better result, if you want to take that next step, get to the next level, then you've got to do something different. And the way you do it is by thinking different, by learning from those who are more successful, who are further along in the journey than you are. And so one of the big secret mindsets that I'm using to dominate in 2023, it's a combination of a few different things. But, at the top of the list, like you need to have your 2023 business plan. We serve entrepreneurs. This channel is to help small business owners, entrepreneurs, side hustlers. Maybe you're trying to get that business going. Whatever the case is, you've got to have that business plan built out. Again, we're going to have in the notes here, you can go to our YouTube channel and check out that business plan training. There's a free business plan template you'll want to click on and get that set up with. But one of the things that we're doing in 2023 is we're going to focus on, all right, here's where we want to be at the end of 2023. To get there, there are certain micro goals and tasks that I've got to do every single day to get to that end result in 2023. So I'm really looking at my calendar and mapping out, all right, specifically today, I'm going to work on these 3 or 4 tasks that are going to take me closer to achieving where I want to be at the end of 2023. And then for a lot of us, that means we have to say no to some other things. Because in business, you're either proactively moving towards something or you're just reacting and putting fires out constantly and you're never going to grow. It's kind of the difference of being able to work on the business versus in the business every day. So that's something we're looking at. And then in terms of 2023 focus, here's what we've got going on in a few simple words. Accountability. So an accountability mindset is super important. I feel like in 2022, that was something we could have done a better job of. Nate, when you think about accountability and how important that is in your mindset, what does that mean to you and how has that helped you? Because you've really seen a lot of personal and business success over the last 2-3 years. And as you look back to where you were to where you're now, how important is factoring in a mindset of accountability to do that?
Oh, I think it's the most important. Our main thing we focused on is doing what we say we're going to do, right? And so a lot of that has to do with accountability. If you say you're going to do something, do it. And if you don't do it or if you mess up, that's all right, but take extreme ownership. I'm actually listening to that book right now, but take ownership of what you don't do, right? And being able to do that and keep yourself accountable is key to success and growth.
And that's a great book. You're talking about taking an extreme ownership. Funny, one of my friends who I had on our other podcast last year, McKay, he and his wife he served in the military, did a couple tours, I believe. Really awesome guy, and built a real estate empire. And he talked about one of the biggest books that helped him was Taking Extreme Ownership. And I want to say, is that by Jocko? He one of the 2 Navy SEAL authors, but what a badass that guy is. But a great book about assuming ownership of everything. It's no one else's fault. The results that you got in 2022, 100% up to you. Yes, there's outside factors. There's things that we can't control, but there's plenty that we can. And when you assume that ownership, and that's what he and his teams did. And these guys are in the middle of big military battles in Iraq, life and death situations. And if you're not being extremely accountable, taking ownership, things can get out of control, and it's the exact same way in business. So great points there. The next thing I'm focusing on is a mindset of scaling and growing. And if you're going to scale and grow your business, I look at it a couple different ways. Number one, what can you do to deliver a better experience to your clients? So that's something our team is definitely focused on. We're focused on how can we give the client a better experience, help them achieve the results that they want and need. And then number two, how can we work and provide a better experience for our strategic partners? Wherever your leads are coming in, they're coming in maybe from some marketing channels. And one of the most effective way we built this business and built it to 8 figures here in the last 4 years is strategic partnerships. 95% of our business is 7 Figures Funding and My Figures comes in from strategic partnerships, working with business coaches, consultants, trainers whose clients need access to capital. They need to get their money right to grow their business and move forward in their programs. And so it's how can we deliver a better experience there? So as you think about that, Nate, what are some of the factors that people should be thinking about as business owners to give their clients a better experience?
Well, a lot of that is going to be transparency and then also, in my opinion, technology, right? Being able to implement more technology to where updates and transparency are at the client's fingertips really is going to be a game changer for us. And yeah, I think implementing technology and rolling out new things to do speed to service and
speed is a big one, yeah.
Yep.
So that technology is huge. And so what we think about old school is just more phone calls, more touch points. But the touch points now with technology are, I know you use, as you're teaching and managing the funding department here at 7 Figures, you'll have like automated texts that will go out like in 2 days to remind the client to, follow up with XYZ lender or do this task or remind, one of your team members to do something. And so if you don't have these automated text email features, and you and Ty have built these out to where when we update a stage or check a box in the CRM, like things are automatically happening, and that leverage increases the client's experience without you having to necessarily get on the phone with them.
Exactly.
So huge. If you're not using automated processes, systems, and have a really dialed in CRM, that's something that's going to pay huge dividends for you with your business. So, and give your client a better experience because there's more touch points, there's more care, and it keeps them going through the roadmap of success. Because if you built your business out, you know what that roadmap looks like, and helping your client go along that path is super important depending on what your fulfillment system is like. Next, recurring revenue is king. There's so many businesses out there and they're trying to increase value. They're trying to be more profitable. And one of the biggest factors, in all the research and study of some of the biggest companies out there, the most successful, is this ability to create recurring revenue. You look at Amazon and people are constantly coming back. They're buying more and more things. But one of the big recurring revenue features they have is Prime. Right? Amazon Prime is whatever it is, $120 a year. And I don't know how many tens of millions of people they have on that, but it's a recurring revenue business, right? You look at Netflix, it's a recurring revenue business. People are paying for it every single month. Even, phone companies, Verizon, AT&T, people are paying every single month. Access to internet, you're paying for it every single month. Everybody wants to get a subscription model in their business. And the sooner you can do that, the sooner you're more predictive, the sooner your profitability increases, and bigger than anything, the value of your business is much more valuable. One of the examples I was reading in this book, Nate, talked about a guy who had a car wash, and people just came in, and when he had that car wash built on a subscription model, it increased the value by 3 times. How important is it, do you think, for businesses to create recurring revenue models in their business?
Well, I think that goes hand in hand for providing a better experience for the client, right? Because without a recurring monthly revenue model, you're always searching for the next new client. You're always searching for the next new deal. But if you can build something to where you can get a client, get a new deal, and keep them and continue to provide value to them, it does help significantly. I mean, you mentioned the car wash. I subscribe to a car wash every month. You've even seen, I mean, even Taco Bell has tried a recurring monthly revenue model. So it definitely is something everyone's focusing on because it works.
It does, and it makes your business so much more valuable. And even a kind of a step further is if you give your client a better experience, then that one client can become 2 or 3 because by word of mouth, they share the good experience with people. They give you a shout out online. I was showing our funding CEO team last night that testimonial from a client. You helped Connor, awesome veteran who got a massive business line of credit, another $100,000, almost $300,000 in total funding. And just really cool to see a guy. But he gave such an amazing video testimonial like that. When you give a client that kind of experience and they can do a video testimonial and they shout out from the rooftops, wow, these guys really came in clutch for me, then that one client could become 2, 3, 5, 10. And that's a form also, I think, of recurring revenue because you provided, a great client experience.
Absolutely.
All righty. So that said, we're going to be focusing on those things, but accountability, scaling and growing, and recurring revenue are 3 focuses that we believe are going to help us achieve massive success, double our business, and make it that much more valuable in 2023. So things that you can look to implement in your business and take it to the next level. And then keep building on the core of what worked in 2023. One thing I don't want to make a mistake of is, we've got all these focuses, and then we kind of forget what actually helped us grow by 40-50% last year, which was providing a great finance experience, bringing on more partners. And so whatever it is that worked for you in your business in 2022, keep doing those same things. Don't abandon those. Keep doing those, but then add some of these additional projects and recurring revenue streams and a different mindset to take you to that next level in 2023. Nate, any final thoughts on mindset as we move into the money section?
Well, I mean, just with the business plan, something super important. A lot of times, whether you're making a plan for your business for the year or you're making your goals personally for the year, don't overcomplicate things, right? Keep it simple. And make sure that, for example, just yesterday I was sitting down with one of our funding advisors, Steve, and we were making some goals, and the goal was to have $1 million in sales for the year, right? Okay. And so we took that and we broke it down. Okay, that means there's $19,200 a month that has to happen. Well, how many clients do we have to have per month? Or per week, for that to happen. And so we really broke it down into really daily tasks. And so if you do that and you keep it simple, if you're completing your daily tasks, it ultimately is going to translate into getting that year-end goal.
That's huge and an important mindset. You've got this big end-of-year goal that you want to hit, but break it down into micro goals. All right, I want to hit $1 million a year in sales. That means I need to do $83,333 a month. And then you break that down into 52 weeks. And like you said, it's $19,000 and some change. And that makes it doable. And now it's I just need to have, a couple clients every day or 3 clients every day that I help move forward in the process. And that puts the odds in my favor to achieve my end year goal.
Yep.